Hey, Flimsy Lunch Tray here, and today I'm going to be featuring a ranked battle in the Tier 7 Premium German battleship, the Scharnhorst, and I have the B version as I like the black look on the Scharnhorst myself. And yeah, this is the new ranked iteration sprint where we are now having Tier 6 through Tier 7 in bronze, and Tier 8 through Tier 9 in silver, and Tier 10 in gold. So really happy that finally able to play more of these Tier 6, Tier 7 ships in ranked, as there's some good ships at Tier 6 and Tier 7. One of the reasons why I want to feature today's video is that I watched several World of Warship YouTube content creators share about, top picks for the ranked for Bronze League, and Sinop was usually the one always on top. It's just Sinop's a really good ship, tanky Russian battleship, so on and so forth. But I didn't, from the ones I watched, I didn't see Scharnhorst shared as a good pick. For me, I think Scharnhorst is really a good viable option in ranked. So I want to showcase this battle. I think this was my first battle, or one of my first battles in the Bronze League in the Scharnhorst. I think I'd played a destroyer once or twice maybe before hopping into Scharnhorst. But you're going to see some good results from this battle. There's even a Sinop on the enemy team, and so you're going to see how I counter the Sinop, as I want to spend a little more time talking about that, since Sinop is, you see a lot of it in ranked. So in moving up, we're moving up towards the alpha cap and dumping some preemptive torps on this Nuremberg here. So moving up, able to get, they've left this flank more open for the present time. So that works well for us. Because the Nuremberg is rushing through the center, I don't recommend rushing through the center in the beginning unless you're a destroyer, maybe. But since he's going to be rushing up, we're just going to sit here. The torpedoes, you get 3 per each side, and they have 6 kilometer range. And so we're going to pick up first blood there. And just now we're going to glide into the cap and take alpha. So we can see that their Sinop is coming back. So we're talking a little bit more about him. Now the thing is, I guess when we're talking about Sinop versus the Scharnhorst, at range, you're going to lose to Sinop. The Scharnhorst one just isn't as, doesn't have as good as armor as the Sinop, and also the Sinop has those larger guns, where the Sinop, the Scharnhorst doesn't have very large guns. I'm trying to actually remember the millimeter size caliber of the guns right now, so I'll pull that up while I'm continue to talk with you guys. But yeah, it's not as good. So Sinop will beat you at long range, but if you're able to close in the distance in the Scharnhorst, then you're going to come out on top and win between having those secondaries, but specifically you'll be able to get a broadside and dumping your torpedoes in is definitely favorable and advisable. So as Atlanta that the Sinop's going for, I mean, good target for him to be shooting at. Okay, so yeah, the Scharnhorst guns are 283 millimeter. And then the Sinop, I don't remember these things, so that's why I'm looking at right now, but I'll tell you. The Sinop has, I think it's over 300. No, go away. Oh yeah, 406 millimeter guns, that's right. So yeah, so 283 versus 406. Yeah, we're going to be slapped harder by the Sinop than what we're going to be able to do on the Sinop, and so that's why you even see me firing at HE here and setting a fire. So at first I'm kind of waiting here, debating what I want to do. The enemy team is continuing to push the Charlie cap hard, but they're moving up so much that they're actually leaving this Sinop more isolated, because you can see I'm looking at the battleship, because if I push out, I'm going to be showing broadside. However, if you look at their position and how much they're moving up, they're actually, yeah, taking a nice chunk of damage there. I have the islands between me and the Sinop if I go to push in. So I'm not going to win a fight at a long range. I knew that, and this was waiting to kind of see what the enemy team's play was. So we're going to close in the distance, and we're going to take out the Sinop is the plan. So the Strasbourg goes down from our friendly CV. And we still have the hang of the points for now. And now switch back to armor piercing. And again, you know, we got chunked again there. So the longer I just sit here and he's able to punish me like that, then I'm going to lose the fight. Now I do have, I think it's 11 or 12 points build on my Scharnhorst. I do have a full secondary build on the Scharnhorst, and I am running, if I can say the name, Gunther Luchens. Maybe I said that right, as I got him not too long ago. But the Sinop is kind of, he's going for where he feels like he's getting more broadside targets. So you've seen him shoot the Atlanta, he's shooting the Nelson, and he's been shooting me. So he's really not focusing on his targets. So now, I think what's important to note is when you're in a Scharnhorst, or I mean any battleship that has torpedoes, is that you really want to close the distance first before you go and just start firing, showing your broadside and trying to dump your torpedoes. So for now, I'm just going to stay angled in, and I probably could even been more angled in, but you know, 4 and 6mm, not going to do too well. Now the Scharnhorst has really good torpedo firing angles, which is great. I'm kind of waiting, like, is he slowing down? And then we're going to turn in and get a broadside going on here. I'm outpacing his turrets a bit, and wrecked. So that is my advice of how you deal with a Sinop when you're in a Scharnhorst, because you won't win the battle at range. He'll just continue to chunk you. So yeah, so I found that moment rather amusing. So now I have the enemy Nelson who's continuing to push up. Maybe we can get some damage in. He's fired his HE salvo at us. Yeah, just over 3,000. And the Nelson has really good HE, good fire setting chance. And then that is when we pick up the enemy CV. He's actually pushing in on us, as you can see on the eye line. And so we're going to switch focus to him and the Ranger. And we're actually going to get some nice salvos in here on the Ranger as well. We're not going to be getting those over penetrations, but more penetrations, and we grab the high caliber. So I think especially when it comes to this map, or any map, but especially this one, you have so many islands in the center. I think this was this map called Ring, I believe it is, where you get to use the islands to your advantage, even whether it be defensive or you're trying to do an aggressive push. And that works, you can use that to your advantage. So that's why one of the reasons why I like this map with this setup. Ooh, Citadel. So, for some reason, that first squadron that the Ranger sent in, he recalled. I don't know if he meant to do that on purpose or by accident. But my recording stopped, and I had to press record again and launch it back up. So that's kind of why there's a brief pause there in the footage. But when you're dealing with dive bombers, you don't want to be facing right at them. You want to be more faced away, showing them more broadside. You know, then with torpedo bombers, you do want to be nosing towards them. And 2 citadels, and we take out the enemy Ranger. Next we have this enemy destroyer pushing in, so I just go ahead and preemptively dump torpedoes. Never a bad idea to use them when you are able to. And now that just leaves the enemy Nelson. And our Nelson is basically kind of sat in between that bay, the channel between those 2 islands, and he's been relatively safe for the most part. I mean, Nelson has a good heal, so I'm not sure how much damage of that perhaps he's even healed back. One thing that's nice about having Gunther Luchens is, I'm questioning, no, that's right. He has the, improved grease the gear skills, if my memory serves correctly, as I feel like I want to doubt myself very strongly on that statement. So that really helps doing those more brawling interactions you're going to have with enemy ships, especially as you saw with the Sinop. As we aggressively pushed up on him, we outpaced his turrets. He has a much slower turret traverse than the Sinop than compared to what the Scharnhorst has. And on top of having an improved grease the gears skill for turret traverse, that even further helped us to just wreck his day. So yeah, so this match is basically just going to wind up. It's just a matter of, will we be able to kill the Nelson in time before we reach 1,000 points or not? Now the Nelson, when the Nelson's sailing away, he's much more in a, well, there's two things. One, because all of his front turrets are on the front of the ship. He's a bit more vulnerable when it comes to not trying to get firepower off. But he actually is able to, from my understanding, the armor scheme is actually better for you to be in a more kiting position, but angled back in. But the clock is going to run out, and we're not going to be able to kill him in time. Okay, so that looks like that was like actually my first battle. So yeah, so pretty good between getting Dev Strike, First Blood, High Caliber, 126,000 damage, 3 destroyed, 3 set on fires, and 6 citadels. With some secondaries in there as well, on top of having almost 400,000 credits received, 7,622 experience, and 978 free XP. We're going to top the team at what appears to be 2,105. I believe I can see, tell from the screen. The enemy Z31, he did good for the amount of base XP he had. And you can just see how much damage alone we did to the enemy Sinop on top of the enemy Ranger. I think we took the Ranger for all of his health. And then getting that nice surprise kill on Nuremberg as he pushed up way too soon in the ranked. So I'm really enjoying the Bronze League thus far. I haven't played it a ton so far. I've been kind of playing with some other clanmates and randoms and ops and stuff. But I've really enjoyed that the Wargaming decided to finally have a ranked iteration where we're being able to go underneath Tier 8, play Tier 6 and Tier 7, where you can go into a match in a Tier 6 ship or Tier 7 and not be surprised and popping up in a Tier 8 matchmaking in randoms battle as an example. So I hope this kind of highlights the power that Scharnhorst does have, especially how to use islands to your advantage. But knowing when it comes to dealing with the enemy Sinop that you're not going to run at an at-range battle unless the enemy Sinop player is just really potato, poor aim, whatever you want to say. But that you win the battle by closing in a distance. I mean, that's kind of the thing for most all the German battleships. They're not known for their accuracy, but they're known for getting in and fighting up close. I like to think of the Scharnhorst as maybe it's the Pommern's little brother or distant cousin or something, if that makes sense at all. So if you liked today's battle, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more, and if you haven't subscribed, I really appreciate it as we continue to grow the channel here with you guys. So until next time, take care.